2014年保險公司修訂。
This is a Bills Committee on Insurance Companies Amendment Bill 2014. And this is the 24th meeting held today on the 5th of June. We hope we could finish work today, and the administration has submitted a further draft committee stage amendment on the revised section 68, and also some consequential amendments on section 89, and they've been tabled, and the papers are respectively CB bracket 1946/1415 bracket 01 and 02. Would the administration please walk us through the proposed drafts, CSAs, and then members can ask questions. But I understand that Mr. James Toll is otherwise engaged. He will need to leave in a moment. So I will allow Mr. Toll to ask his question first. Chairman, a simple question. I'd like to be on the safe side because there is a common law case, and it will be codified. And I see that in the amendment there is a 4BA and 4BB, and that's mainly 4BB. And I think this can strike a balance in the sense that the court will be able to consider comprehensively all the factors before making a fair decision. So I support this amendment. I support this last bit. So I think it's very good. I support the amendment. That's it. Thank you. So, PS, would you please walk us through the draft CSAs? So any more questions on section 68? Do we need to go through it again? Because this is a new draft, please do walk us through again. Section 68 have to do with authorized insurer's relationship with his agent. There is also an existing provision in section 68 in the existing ordinance, and we have revised the section that is the authorized insurer should bear the liability, and there are provisions stipulating different scenarios in which the court will have to consider circumstances when the authorized insurer is not liable for the action of the agent, and that is in 4B. That is when the person is not acting within the scope of the person's authority in relation to the insurer, and if the person then continues to engage in act involving the policy, the insurance policy, the authorized insurer is not liable for the act of that person. And there is a question on whether there are other circumstances that the court should consider, and so we've included 4BB as well, and that is the court may take into account any relevant factors in striking a balance. And just now Mr. Toll has expressed his satisfaction for, with the clause, and we have also deleted subsection 6, and that is the final revised version of section 68. So for the final draft on the CSA for section 68, any questions? If not, then PS, please continue. Thank you. Chairman, there is also another section on conduct requirements, and that is on section 89, paper number bracket 02, and members may wish to refer to para 2 and 3, and the legal advisor asked a question, and that is this. If the intermediary or the agent is in breach of a conduct requirement, the authorized insurer should not be liable. And the legal advisor asked whether this also applies to licensed technical representatives. And for licensed technical representatives, we have those for agents and those for brokers. And the policy objective is that for a breach of conduct requirement, the IIA would be sanctioning the breach rather than a cause for civil action. And this also applies here, so we have introduced consequential amendments to this effect. That is to say, the representatives, that is the licensed insurance agencies and insurance broker companies, are also covered. That is, a breach of conduct should not render any person liable to any judicial proceedings. And we believe that this should be put under Section 91A, breach of conduct requirement. So you can see in the annex that the provision has moved to 91A. A failure to comply with the requirements specified in Section 89, 90, or 91, that is a breach of conduct requirements, does not by itself render any person liable to any judicial proceedings. That is to have a cause for action. So that explains legal advisor's point. I wonder if the legal advisor has other questions. All right. Any comments? Would DS please wait? Sorry, Chairman, I missed another point. That is, on the 29th of May, the limited liability partnerships top-up insurance rules was gazetted. And since in the rules it mentions the insurance company's ordinance, if this amendment bill is passed, the title of the ordinance will be replaced with insurance ordinance. So we need to update these technical or consequential amendments. Any questions? Legal advisor. Thank you, Chairman. May I refer members to Section 68? There is an information and a note for members. In fact, there is a full text in English and Chinese in front of members on Section 68. And after talking to the drafting division, it is agreed that under subsection 6 of Section 68, which exists in the insurance company's ordinance, will be deleted. And this is the decision made just before this meeting. So would members please note that. For bracket 6, subsection 6, it will be deleted. So that means by this deletion, the rules will be relaxed. I'd like to hear an explanation of the consequence. For bracket 6, it provides that in assessing liability for a claim under this section, the court is required to be satisfied of certain matters before the contract will be effected. And in subsection 6, it says that once the liability is determined, then when the court determines the amount of damages, then subsection 6 will apply. Subsection 6 originally refers to subsection 4 as well, but because of other amendments to Section 68, the original subsection 4 has been replaced. So by deleting subsection 6, the court is no longer required to be satisfied with this condition. There is no longer such a requirement. Well, Chairman, let me explain why bracket 6 is no longer necessary. Because according to members' views, when the court is to determine the amount of damages, the court has to take into account many factors, and we would like to be on the safe side for the court to consider more factors, and that is why we are proposing 4BB, that is in considering a claim under this section. Despite subsection 4BA, the court may take into account any other factors relevant in the circumstances in determining whether an authorized insurer is liable for the act of the person. So the scope is very wide, and the court may take into account any other factors relevant. So we believe that the 4BB already covers bracket 6. So there is a little value to retain subsection 6, and that's why we propose to delete bracket 6 for greater clarity. Any other questions? Legal advisor? No? Any from members? All right, if there are no other questions, then let me now turn to the timetable. The administration would like to resume second reading of the bill on the 8th of July, and would members please note the legislative timetable. On the 19th of June, there will be an oral or there will be a report submitted to the House Committee. And then on the 22nd of June, this will be the deadline for giving notice for resumption of second reading. And then on the 22nd of June, this will be the deadline for giving notice, and then the resumption will take place on the 8th of July. And if there are CSAs proposed by members, they should do so before 27th of June. So those are the 3 dates. Understood? So if members would like to propose further CSAs for the Bills Committee to deal with, may I ask members if we could do so in writing by circulation? We won't be calling for any more meetings. That is, if an individual member would like to ask the BC to propose a CSA, and if all members agree, then I can propose a CSA on behalf of the BC. So any member wishing to propose a CSA in his or her capacity, if not, then there won't be the need for the BC to move any CSA. Any other questions? Administration? Nothing to add, Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chan Kim Paul. Thank you, Chairman. I thank the Bills Committee for its hard work over the past year, and I give my heartfelt thanks to the Deputy Secretary and Commissioner for their incessant work and the frequent meetings with the industry. It shows that there may be divergent views, and more time is needed for communication.
I'm really thankful to them. No matter how many meetings we want to hold, they would always agree. They made a lot of efforts, and jointly we resolved all the problems. I hope the government would also understand this. That is, in the course of scrutiny, you have promised us a lot of things. So I hope that those things can really be done. For example, the guidelines, the code of practice, all those should be put together soon. I understand that when it comes to the code of practice, the government will resolve the problems that still exist. We do not want to bully consumers. We just want the industry to be more professional. And the government has done a good job. It has struck a balance, and in some areas, the government insisted on its original suggestions. And I think the government really thinks that this would be good for the industry. I would like to thank everybody here. Well, Mr. Chen Kim-po is very courteous. I think, yes, we have been very cooperative, and the administration has been consulting the industry constantly. Deputy Secretary, I would like to thank the Chairman, the Vice Chairman, Mr. Chen Kim-po, as well as the Secretariat, the Assistant Legal Advisor, as well as members of the BEC. During the scrutiny of the bill, you have given us a lot of good suggestions. And once again, I would like to promise Mr. Chen Kim-po that we will do what we have said. Now, we have set up a working group that includes the 3 regulators and representatives of the industry for interim arrangements and for the formulation of guidelines, etc. We will be sitting down and negotiate. I understand that we would have to strike a balance among a lot of considerations. Now, we have to ensure the interests of consumers. We also have to take into reference international requirements and trends. I hope members and the industry can understand that the government is trying to do this in a legal, fair, and just manner. Okay, any other business? If not, I'm happy to tell you that the BC has completed scrutiny of the bill, and now we will end the meeting here. Thank you.